I've been riding a motorcycle now for about 9 years, and it's been an awesome experience. And the thing about motorcycling is you think it's very minimal because the bike is smaller, but anybody who's been in it knows that you just start getting a lot of stuff around it. Multiple helmets, jackets, gloves, pants, storage options, side bags. You start doing work on your bike, maintenance items. Your garage starts to get a little full. So we got to find a way that we can help manage all this. Yes, I could be a little bit more organized, but I think there's also just the limitation on storage space. So we're going to have a solution for that. And there's some room up there, not on the shelf, but like just sitting up here above my head. Well, we're going to look at a way that maybe we could take advantage of that space up there and try to make this a little bit more organized. So let's check that out.
The solution for this is the GL1 garage lift from FlexiMounts, a US-based company dedicated to providing effortless storage and organizing solutions for the garage and home. Their products are highly rated on Amazon, with classic garage racks being the best sellers. It's a trusted brand for their quality and innovation.
All right, I'm finally starting to get this thing squared away. I've made some room here on the floor. I've got the box here for the GL1. Plan is to use this 4x4 area up here on this part of the ceiling, kind of in this back corner. Kind of front loaded the garage with all my stuff here, just to give me some room to work here. Well, here's what it looks like when it's done. But here's a little bit on how we got there. All right, I got the critical piece of it done by putting in the mounting points here. That's kind of the hardest part, is finding and making sure you've got the joists and you're mounted in there good. So now that we've got that taken care of, we're gonna move along. All right, we finally have a platform, if you can see it, amongst all the junk back here. So once you got the mounts up in the ceiling, that's kind of the hardest part of the installation. After that, it's just, you feed the cables through the pulleys, you assemble the bed, screw them in. It's pretty straightforward. There's just nuts and bolts. You just gotta put them together. Really easy to do. The only thing I had a little difficult time with that was a little tricky to install was getting these like J hooks that go through these bars to stabilize it, and they just basically hook onto this grid to hold it down. That was a little interesting to get started. We'll see what we can store on this. I may start with some fairly light things. This can hold up to 300 pounds. I think it would be important to make sure that you are distributing the weight properly. So if you have heavier things, maybe put them toward the middle, and then some lighter things around the outside. So next up will be just kind of figuring out how I want to organize this, how I want to do with the shelf, like what's going to go up here. Maybe these will be like items I don't get to a whole lot, but I'm just going to try it out, kind of see what I like and report back in. But let's load this up and see if we can get this garage looking a lot better. I mean, look at all this stuff that I've got on here now. I only need it lowered to about this height to get to anything. And the more I use this, you know, I've been using it for a few days now. It's been working great. I'm glad I have this in the garage, and now it makes me consider putting another one on that side just to get more stuff out of the way. This has been really good. Me as a motorcyclist having a lot of extra stuff, extra helmets, these luggage bags. I've got some jackets up there, some gloves that I don't use now, heated gloves, so your winter gear can go up that way, extra boots, and it can be off of the floor because here in Georgia we can get a lot of critters and just crap that comes in the garage. It gets dusty, dirty, whatever, and now it's off the ground and it's going to stay a little cleaner, a little better condition as well. The biggest part about this though is you saw the before picture, right? And now we still have room for the car. We have my bike here in the middle that just has a nice little spot, and there's walkways on both sides. And oh yeah, we still got the ruckus over here too. So you got room for a couple of bikes in the front, walkway, so it's easy to get the bike in and out when it's time to go somewhere. And then anything you need is just stored way back up here. The most challenging part, like I said, was getting the brackets installed up at the top and the ceiling, just making sure you have that laid out right. But afterwards, the installation was pretty easy. You just loop the cables through, tie it to the bed, bolt it to the bed, and then you just crank it up using this crank pole. You can put a handle on there and crank it, or pro tip, use a power drill and it'll go a little bit faster. Just don't go crazy with it, but very easy to use once this is up. And I think this would be super convenient for maybe people who aren't so sure about standing up on ladders to reach a shelf that's permanently placed. So this may be good for your grandparents, or if you have an older person in your life that may just need a little assistance. It's easy to bring this thing down, go through the boxes or the crates that you have on there, get what you need, store things, and then lift it back up over the height of your head so it's out of the way. So underneath that, I've stored some bicycles, some other things. I wouldn't have an active space under there where you're actively going to be moving a lot. Just is out of an abundance of caution that something were to happen and this thing did drop. It saves a ton of space. I mean, you saw that. All that stuff was just, some was on the shelf, but a lot of it was just over this, over the floor. Had my extra gear that was just like stacked up on the bike itself. And it was just a lot. Now there's a few more things that I can organize and clean up, but just how much this just takes out of the equation to not even have to deal with is a huge, huge plus. So maybe you're thinking, I don't have a motorcycle, I'm not going to put motorcycle stuff up there. If you have seasonal decoration, Christmas stuff or springtime stuff, or if you put stuff out for random holidays that I don't even know about, you can store that up here. Depending upon where you position this, you could put something like kayaks on there and maybe make it easier to load on top of your car. If you have a luggage rack that goes on your car as well, that you're only going to use maybe 2-3 times a year, this gets it up out of the way. It's got great lifting capacity. It says up to 300 pounds. Maybe if you have a very sports-centric family, you have a kid that plays baseball and football and soccer and just does all the things, and with each season comes different equipment, and you can just probably maybe get some bins, store it up there, up out of the way, again off the floor, so that it can keep dust and dirt out of it, keep things a little bit cleaner. So a lot of flexibility with that. I mean, sky's the limit, or the ceiling's the limit, because physics, but there's a lot of flexibility in there to mount your stuff. A flexi mount. Anyway, but the convenience of this is that it can lower down if you need to spend some more time like looking through some things. So that's maybe a little bit more convenient than having a static shelf that's up higher or something like that. But Flexi Mounts does offer some things like that. So if you're interested in saving a little space, check out the GL1 from Flexi Mounts. Check the description for a link to that. Appreciate y'all taking the time to check out this video. Hopefully it's been a little bit helpful. Please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for more motorcycle stuff or products that can assist your motorcycle life. I'm trying to work on that some more. So thanks again for taking the time, and I'll see you on the next one. Y'all ride safe. Later on.